Hey all y'all spirits out there, today is day 104 of the EtherealEthe challenge, and for today we are focusing on lower body, hips, legs, thighs. Of course we're still going to do some upper body things starting off, but most of our attention is going to the lower body. So without further ado, let's get on to it, guys. Alright, here we are going to start off in a seated position, crisscross applesauce. And we're just going to start off slow. We're just going to start off by taking a deep breath in, raising our hands above our head, tall like a mountain, taking a deep breath out, and releasing our hands back to the ground. We're going to repeat this. Take a deep breath in, hands go up and tall, and we're going to pull our hands down to our heart chakra center. While in this position, we are going to take 3 deep breaths. Take one in and out, another one in and out. We're going to take one more in, guys. And with this exhale, we're going to release our hands from our heart chakra, raise it above our hands, and release yet again. Now again, we're going to take another deep breath in, raise our hands to our heart chakra, but this time I'm just going to set my intentions for my day. I'm just going to pray and just be thankful for this space that I am in, for my spirit, for my soul, for my mind, for my vessel. I'm just going to be thankful for all these things, and I'm just going to set my intentions for the day, just setting it to be free-flowing, being productive, and just setting out the things I set out to do, I'm going to do. So that's basically just what I'm doing here, just talking to my spirit, setting the intentions that my vessel is going to follow through on this day. And now that I'm done with my intentions, we're just going to take a deep breath in, raise our hands high above our head. And on our exhale, we are taking our right hand, putting it behind our back. Left hand goes on the side of our right knee, and we are twisting and turning. With each breath in, we are stretching up. With each breath out, we are turning deeper into this twist. And I only did this for 3 breaths. Just taking a deep breath in, exhaling, twisting a bit deeper and deeper. And on this last inhale, we're going to take our hands up. And we're going to exhale, and we're going to do the same thing, just on the opposite side. So your left arm goes behind you, your right arm goes to the side of your left knee, and you are twisting. You are taking a deep breath in, you are stretching tall, you are exhaling, you are twisting a bit deeper and deeper. And like I said, we stayed in this position for 3 breaths, and on your last breath, you're going to breathe in, hands go up above the head, and exhale, hands go down to your side. And now, guys, we're just going to do some slight movements here. See, I'm just twisting my head side to side. Not really twisting, but leaning my head side to side and taking a deep breath in. Hands go up. Take a deep breath out. Hands go back down to the side. And we're going to do some stretches here, guys. I'm going to keep my right hand on my hips, and I'm going to take my left. It goes over the head. We are stretching, getting that good stretch in our left side here. Just breathing in, breathing out. Let's take another breath, guys. Breathe in and breathe out. We held this for 3 breaths. On your last breath, guys, on your exhale, we are going to release your left arm. Now it goes to your left hip. Your right arm is going to stretch over your head, and we are going to lean to the left side, getting that good stretch on our right. We are taking a deep breath in, taking a deep breath out. Let's do this for a couple more breaths, guys. Take a deep breath in, a deep breath out. Last breath, guys. Come on, let's take another deep breath in. And on your last breath, you are releasing. Release the position, exhale. And now, guys, we're just going to put some movement in our shoulders. As you guys can see, I'm just rotating my shoulders backward. I did this for about a couple rounds, and we're also going to start rotating them forward now. Just getting some movements in the shoulders, raising them up towards the ears and releasing them, and just getting some good movements there. And now we're going to be moving on, guys. Take a deep breath in, hands go above the head, release, they go out now. My right arm is crossing over my chest. My left arm is looping around the right. And I'm turning my head, just getting that good stretch in my arms and in my neck. Taking a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Another deep breath in. And release, guys. Hands go back up above the head. Release, go back to the side. Now your left arm is going over your chest. Your right arm is going over the left. And we are turning towards the left, taking a deep breath in. A deep breath out. Another one in. Another out. Let's do one more, guys. Let's go in. And on this exhale, we are releasing. Let's release the position, guys. Shake that out. Do some shoulder rolls. And now we are raising our hands above our head. I am taking the right arm, grabbing the left elbow, and I am pulling it towards the right while leaning my head back. And I am taking a deep breath in. A deep breath out. Taking another one in. And then when we are releasing, and now we are going to take our left hand, grab your right elbow, pull it towards the left while leaning your head back, taking a deep breath in, a deep breath out. We're gonna take another one in, and we're gonna release the position, guys. And now I'm just gonna add in some neck rotations. I'm just going to be, leaning my head side to side, maybe leaning it in a circle, maybe doing some rotations, maybe going clockwise, going counterclockwise. This is not, this is just like fluid movements, nothing really here. We're just going with the flow of our body. I'm leaning forward, I'm leaning to the side. I might add some spins in here. I'm just being fluid right now, just letting the energy flow through my body, through my neck, through my arms, all of that. And now, while we are still in this seated crisscross position, we're gonna do some rotations. We're gonna start leaning side to side, and then soon add some full circles into this. Just leaning forward and then backward, taking a deep breath in, a deep breath out. Switch positions every now and then, maybe spin the other direction. Just get some good movements in your hips, also in your arms and your legs. Like, this is gonna feel really good in this circle right here. And we're just gonna do that for a couple rounds, and we're going to switch on to a new position. And now we are switching to butterfly, guys. We're going to release this crisscross applesauce, place our feet together, and we're going to start flapping our legs like some wings. Just getting some good motion in our inner hips and our thighs. We're just gonna keep flapping, keep flapping. Take a deep breath in while you're doing this. A deep breath out. We're gonna do this for a couple more breaths, guys. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. And yes, I am doing some leaning and some motion into this butterfly. I'm leaning forward, and I'm also doing some slight flaps while leaning forward. I don't know if y'all noticed it or not, but while leaning forward, I did keep flapping my legs. But now we are going to switch on to our next position. And right now I'm trying to put both my legs into a 90-degree angle, because we're just going to be putting our hands behind us and switching our legs back and forth. We're gonna do about 6 rounds of this. So we're gonna flip from one side to the next side, and that's gonna be 1 round, and then we're gonna do it again. So 1 and 2, that is 1 round. We're gonna keep doing this again, making sure that we are breathing in and breathing out as I do this. Alright guys, and that was about 6 rounds. We're going to find ourselves back in crisscross position, and we're just putting some movement into there, leaning forward, leaning back. And we're actually going to come into this seated position with our legs out straight, because we're actually going to be grabbing for our toes. But before we even get into that, like I said, we're going to take some breaths. I'm going to be flexing my legs, flexing my feet, generating some heat and some movement in my legs before I even go down to touch my toes. So let's take a deep breath in, guys. Release, hands to the ground. Let's take another deep breath in. Stretch tall. In our exhale, lean a bit forward. And now as you guys can see, I didn't grab all the way towards my toes. I grabbed, you know, my ankles, a little bit above my ankles, because we don't want to go straight forward and then hurt ourselves. I'm going slow. I learned my lesson from yesterday. I'm starting off slow, and then I will make my way to my toes. I'm just doing some slight leaning, guys. Just making sure that, trying to touch my elbows to my knees. I hope you guys can see that I'm trying to do that right now. Just getting a little lower with each breath, taking a deep breath in, a deep breath out, and leaning a bit deeper with each release. And I also hope you guys can see that I'm trying to keep my spine straight. I'm trying not to round it. As you guys can see, it's a little slightly rounded, but I'm looking at the camera trying to check my position, like, am I rounded? Am I straight? Let me try to straighten out my back a little more as I do this. Because guys, the key is to feel the stretch in your legs, not in your back. Like, my mom/yoga teacher always told me that if you're stretching forward and you're feeling in your back, you might be doing it wrong, because the key is to feel it in your thighs and in your legs, not in your spine. And now guys, I'm going to be trying to reach for my toes, but as you guys can see, I'm going to put a little bend in my legs. I am not keeping my legs straight and reaching for my toes. I'm doing what's comfortable for my body, so I'm keeping my legs a little bit off the ground and then leaning forward to grab my toes. But I will soon work it to where my legs are flat and I'm able to grab my toes. But for right now, we're gonna do this because this is gonna help our way into that. Now that I'm done grabbing for my toes, guys, I'm just leaning back and forth, just stretching out my stretch that I just did. So I'm just leaning back and forth. And now, guys, we're going to be moving on to the next position. I'm going to be leaning back, but still in this seated position with my legs straight. But I'm going to be taking my right leg, placing my foot where my knee is at. I know it's a bit close right now, but I'm just rubbing it down, just stretching it out. But I'm actually going to move my foot a little bit closer to my knee. Yes, just like that. And right here, I'm just asking my mom, like, do the hands go inside the knee or do they go over the knee? Like, one hand on the other side, one arm on the other side, or do they go, like, inside? And she was all like, she don't think it mattered. So I put my hands on the inside and then leaned forward. And I think this is how you do it, because I felt a good stretch in my back thighs. I actually felt a pop where my legs connect to my hips when I stretched forward, but not like a bad pop, like, ooh, that just hurt, but like a pop that's like, yeah, it's like things are getting kinked out, like this is good. But now we are releasing, and I'm going to be pulling my left leg up, foot to knee, like I said before, taking a deep breath in, hands up, and as we exhale, we are going to be leaning forward, putting our hands on our toes, grabbing our toes, and I'm also flexing my feet. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but my foot is flexed, and I'm leaning forward and grabbing my toes. And while in this position, I'm still taking a deep breath in and still taking a deep breath out. And I stayed in this position for about 3 to 6 breaths, just taking a deep breath in, taking a deep breath out. And on my last breath, I am exhaling and releasing the position altogether. And now I'm just spreading my legs a little bit wider, about as wide as the mat, as I lean forward to try to grab the tip of the mat. I'm just leaning forward, hinging by the hips, keeping my hips wide as I stretch forward. This is giving me a nice, good hip opening stretch. I'm feeling my hips widen as I lean forward to try to grab towards the top or the edge of the mat. And if you guys want, you can add some movement to this position like I'm doing right now. I'm just leaning back and forth. And in this forward position, I am stretching up and back, up and back. And each time I go up, I stretch a little bit further than what I did before. And I did 3 rounds of that. And now I'm just releasing the tension in my legs before we make our way into child's pose. As you guys can see here, I'm just slowly but surely making my way down into this child's pose. And I'm actually going to widen my stance on my legs. As you guys can see, I'm widening it. And then I'm sinking back down, getting that good stretch in my hips. I am pulling my hands forward, stretching forward, and just sinking down into this position, kind of relaxing my body into this child's pose. we are now releasing ourselves from this child's pose position. I'm actually just going to scooch up a bit so I'm in the center of the mat, because I noticed that you guys couldn't see what I was going to do, so I had to scooch up a bit to be in the center of the camera. And I'm placing my hands behind my back, and I'm just going to be leaning, just putting some pressure on my wrist, walking my hands back a little bit further and pushing myself forwards. So you're gonna feel the stretch like in your wrists and your forearms. And now I'm actually twisting my hands the other way, still pushing myself forward and still getting that stretch in my arms and in my back. And we're just taking a couple breaths here, just breathing in, breathing out. And now we are going to release this position. We are now going to make our way into downward dog, as you see me doing here. And I'm actually looking at the camera slightly, making sure that I am centered in the frame, making sure you guys can see my posture and my position. But we are just going to pedal out or walk the dog per se, just for a little bit, just for a couple breaths, just in and out. Pedaling a little bit more, just in and out. And then I'm soon, after I'm done pedaling, going to make my way into three-legged dog. I'm just building up to that moment, stretching forward with my legs, stretching back, flexing my heels, as you guys can see. And then now we're just gonna take a deep breath in, put a little bend in our knees, and kick up into three-legged dog. My right leg goes up first, and I am making sure to stretch it tall and high. Just taking a deep breath in, a deep breath out. I'm really looking at the camera trying to make sure that my leg is in line, because sometimes I would notice in three-legged dog position, my leg will kind of go to the side, will kind of start leaning, so I have to make sure it's in the correct position. But now that we're done with that, we are going to knead our legs a little bit, and we are now going to move on to three-legged dog, but with the left leg raised up high. And I know the lighting is weird, guys. I know it changed so subtly. That's because I don't got my ring light. My ring light is on the way. It's in the mail. And we just got to deal with the light going in and out. Light and dark, y'all. It just be like that. But for now, we are just raising my leg high. Like I said, I'm looking at the camera to see if my leg is aligning, to see if it's going crooked or not, trying to keep my leg straight. But we're just going to do this for a couple more breaths, just in and out. And then we are going to release on our last exhale, knead out the dog, walk the dog, just get some motion in our legs yet again. And I am now going to be taking my right leg, raising it to the sky, and then putting my knee to chest, taking a breath here, in and out. And we're going to release our leg in between our hands. My hands are going to make their way towards my hips. And now I am in this high lunge position. And I'm going to stay in this high lunge position for 6 breaths. We're going to go in and out and in and out. 4 more breaths, guys. And now release. Now we are in this low lunge position, and I am making sure that I am pressing down on my leg, just getting a good stretch in my inner thighs and hips, taking a deep breath in, a deep breath out, another deep breath in, a deep breath out. Let's take one more in, guys. And when you release, guys, we're going to release into this runner stretch. Our leg goes up, our foot is flexed, and our hands are to the ground. Making sure that our spine is straight. I always have to look at the camera to make sure, am I curving my spine? Am I not? Is it straight? Always got to check it out for myself. And we're going to stay in this runner stretch for a couple more breaths. And on your last breath, you are going to release back into a low lunge. And then for your low lunge, you are going to raise up. As you guys see me doing here, we're going into the low lunge. Then we are going to raise up. Yes, flexing the foot, raise back up to high lunge. And then we're going to pull our knee back to our chest, and it goes back into downward dog position. And we're going to stretch it out, we're going to knead it out, and then next we're going to take our left leg goes up, knee goes to chest, hold it for a breath, go in, go out, put your left leg in between your arms, hands go to hips, we are raised up, and now we are in high lunge position. And like I said before, you're gonna hold this lunge for 6 breaths. You're gonna breathe in, you're gonna breathe out, and in, and out. And on this last breath, we are going to make our way to a low lunge position. Like I said, we are putting some pressure on our hips, leaning forward, pushing down so we can get that good stretch. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let's take another deep breath in, guys, and out. And on this last breath, guys, you're going to take another one in. On this exhale, we're going to exhale into runner's position. Our foot is flexed, our hands on the sides of our legs, keeping the spine straight, looking forward, and taking a deep breath in, a deep breath out. Let's take another one in, guys. And then we're going to take another one out. And like I said before, we are in low lunge, and then we're going to make our way into high lunge, taking our knee back to our chest, leaning back into downward dog position. Knead it out, walk it out slightly, just walk out the dog, walk out all we just did, knead it out. And I'm going to take my knee to chest, this is right leg. And I'm now going to take my right leg, or my right foot to be exact, I'm going to place it near my left hand, and it's in a 90-degree angle, and now we are in pigeon pose, guys. And we're going to take a couple breaths in this pigeon pose, just taking a deep breath in, a deep breath out. Let's take another one in, another out. We're gonna do this for 3 more breaths, guys. Go in and out, and in and out. Let's do this for another time, guys. Let's go in. And with this exhale, we are going to be releasing ourselves out of this pigeon pose. And we're gonna do this by taking the back leg and flexing our foot while putting, your toes to the ground, and then moving your knee back into, a 3-legged dog, and then back to downward dog. And we're gonna repeat on the left side. So we're moving back and forth for some momentum, and then your left foot goes to your right hand and down into a 90-degree angle. So we are back into pigeon pose, but now we are just doing it on the left side. And like I said before, guys, you're going to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. I'm going to do this for a couple more breaths, guys. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And like I said before, we're going to release this position by taking the back leg, flexing the foot, putting our toes to the ground, lifting up, bringing our knee in, back into 3-legged dog. Then we're going to place it to the ground, back into downward dog, knead out. I'm leaning forward, leaning back. I'm going to walk out the dog slightly, and then I'm going to take my right leg. I'm going to raise it up, 3-legged dog, bring my knee to chest, place my hand outside of my right hand this time, and I am just going down on my elbows. I am in this deep lizard lunge now, and I'm just slightly leaning back and forth. I don't know if you guys can see that because it really doesn't look like I'm doing it, but I am slightly moving back and forth, trying to generate some movement while I'm in this deep lizard lunge. And now we're going to release. Your leg goes back into downward dog, left leg goes up now. And I'm just repositioning to the camera, guys. And now we are going to bend, and your left leg goes up to the air, knee goes to chest, and then your left leg is outside of your left arm. Like I said, we're going to go down onto our elbows, And you know, don't worry about my niece. She just be doing her thing. Anyway, we're gonna go down to our elbows into this deep lizard lunge. And now I'm just going to take a breath here, guys, in and out, and then I'm going to release back into downward dog position, as you guys can see me doing here. Then I'm just going to make my way into child's pose. I'm going to do that by leaning my knees, well, not leaning my knees, just taking my knees in and putting them to the ground, as you guys can see here, and then leaning back. So now I'm in this resting position in this child's pose. And guys, I got distracted with my knees for a minute, but we're gonna go back onto the routine. I know I'm in a whole other position than I was a couple of seconds ago. That's because I was busy doing other things other than yoga. But we are back, and we are now in this tabletop position. And from this tabletop position, we're gonna make our way to downward dog, as you guys can see me doing here. And I'm going to go into a split from downward dog. I know, right? I haven't did a split in a while, but I just wanted to see if I could do it. So from downward dog, I just put my left leg in front and went straight down into a split, because after the pigeon poses and the lunges and the lizard, the lizard lunge and all that, I was all like, I'm pretty stretched out. I can do this split. And I did. It just didn't go like all the way down like it used to, but like I'm still able to do it. So I just gotta really keep doing my leg routine so I don't lose my ability to split. And now, guys, we're gonna make our way back to downward dog so we can do a split on the other side now. This time my right leg is going in front, and I'm sinking my way down slowly but surely into this split. And I feel like the right leg did a little bit better than the left. It still kind of hurts. I still like can't go down all the way. Like I said, I haven't did this in a good minute, and I just wanted to see where I was at the moment since I haven't been doing yoga. But I say I'm still pretty good. Like I said, just gotta keep on with the leg routine so I don't lose it. But anyway, guys, we made our way into this tabletop position, and I'm just giving a couple of movements in my hips, some slight cows, just leaning back, leaning forward, side to side. And yes, I do be having a whole conversation while doing yoga. Don't worry about me. And now, guys, we are actually nearing the end of our yoga routine. Right now, I'm just doing some movements to release all the tension that I've not gone through, but just been through doing all of these positions. And I'm actually just going to do one more, or actually two more types of exercise before this routine is over. And one of them is the main one, my leg lifts, gots to do it. So we are starting off with the right leg, just lifting up and down. I'm breathing in, and when I exhale, I lift up, breathe in, go down, exhale, go up, breathe in, go down. And I only did that for a couple of times on this leg. And then after I was done with my right leg, I switched over to my left leg. And you guys can see me doing that about right now. I'm switching over to the left leg. I'm taking a deep breath in, exhaling up, inhale down, exhaling, leg goes up, inhaling, leg goes down. And I'm slightly leaning back as I do this. The goal is to not lean back at all. The goal is just to lift your leg up and then lift it down without having to do all that. And we are now going to make our way into a butterfly position. Like I said, we are flapping out the tension that I just did here. And we are about done, guys. I'm just going to squat in this little position, lean up into the squat, get a little stretch here. And I'm going to release this, and we are finished, guys. We are done with my leg routine for today. And I know y'all didn't see me try to lift up because, we're not doing that right now. We're going to do that in a couple of days. But right now, we're just getting our body back used to the yoga. So I will catch you guys later, and peace.